Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. My name is Janelle and I'm from Nellsbelles Designs. So today I'm going to teach you how to draw and paint this super cute little seahorse. So what you're going to need to complete your project is a pencil, a rubber, a Sharpie or some kind of permanent marker, some watercolour pens and a paintbrush and some water. And if you're using the watercolour pens, you'll need watercolour paper. If you're using normal crayons or felt tip pens, you can use whatever paper you have on hand. So let's get started. So first of all, we're going to do is we're going to transfer, we're going to get this design onto our watercolor paper. So the first thing I'm going to do is take my pencil and start drawing. So the first part we do is we'll start with his little nose, and then we'll go on to his body and his fins, and then we'll put in the highlights. So let's get started. So like I said, the first part I'm going to draw is those two straight lines that go across his nose. So I'm going to draw them in now so that we've got them going. The second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do that round curvy line to give him his nose. So then we'll move on to his body, and we're going to just go around in a circle, down around in a curve, and bring it to a point. So we'll go up, around, around to there. We'll straighten that little piece there up. We'll make that a little tiny bit straighter because I got bumped by my pens. So let's just clean that off and let's start that all over again. We'll go down and around and we'll just tidy that up. So then we're going to come in and put this part of his mouth. So we'll draw the second part of his face, which is there. And then we'll do the body and we'll tie it all up. So we'll do this piece that goes all the way around down to his tail. Then we'll come back and we'll put in his belly part. So let's go ahead and do that. So starting up here, we just come down and around and bring it around to a point. And there's his tail. The next part is to put in his body, and that's just a curve coming down. So then we'll look at his putting his eye. So we've got most of his body there. So now we'll do his fins, and we'll do the back fin, and then we'll do his eye. So we're going to come out here. So coming down halfway down his body, we're going to come out on it and do some squiggly lines, and then bring that back on a curve back to make his fin. So go out, some squiggly lines, and bring that back to make his fin. And then we'll do all these little tufts going around. So starting at the top, we'll just go out and around and around and around and around and around and around and around, and then bring that back down to join onto his tail. So now we have the basics of our drawing. So now I'm going to put in his eye. So his eye sits just in here, and he's got a big round circle, and then he's got another circle on the inside, and then we just keep a little tiny bit where we keep white. And as you can see, we've got some curves in here to define his body. We can put some circles on him here, just to give him some spots. Get another one up here. There we go. And then he's got some lines coming out here. And the rest of it we can do as we go. So now it's about colouring him in and drawing his outline. So now we take our Sharpie pen and we start to do the outline of our drawing. So I'm going to start here, and I'm going to take it across here and around the bottom. Exactly what we did. We do his nose, and we're going to follow our line all the way around to the point. Let's give him his face, his belly, do his lines, do his fin, just go ahead and trace around all our outlines, leaving his eye with a little bit of white Let's do all our circles. Close that one up. Now his lines on his back. And now let's colour him all in. First of all, we need to do is rub out all our lines, because we do not need to have them on our paper when we're colouring it in, because we don't want those lines to show up. So anything that you don't want to show up, now's the time to rub them out. Let's just go ahead and do all that. And this is why it's important not to do, when you do your lines with your pencil, to do it really, really thick and deep, because we need to brush off our pencils and we don't want to see those lines. So there we are. There we have our cute little seahorse, and now it's about painting him and giving him some colour. So today's colours we're going to use the nice pretty blue, the tealy green, and the yellow and the orange in our watercolour pens. And then let's get started with that. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to paint the whole of his body. So I'm going to take my blue pen, I'm going to run that around the outside. Just run lots of pigment around the outside. Around the outside, all the way around, giving him plenty of colour, because we'll come back in with this all the way around. Get around his edges. Giving him plenty of colour. We want that colour to be nice and smooth, and give him plenty of colour when we come in. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give him just a little bit of green. And we'll put green around his eye, around here, just to give us a multicoloured, two-toned effect. So now we'll go ahead and we'll just paint that. So taking our paintbrush, some water, we want to spread that paint around. So just keep painting along around the edges, bringing in those colours and make him nice and vibrant around the edges. Just keep painting around, and it's ever so relaxing. Just take your time. And come in onto the green, and let's just blend those colours together. Give him his pretty colours. There he is. There's all his body all nicely put together in the pretty colours. So the next step we're going to do is we're going to paint his belly and his fins. So I'm going to take the darker colour. I'm going to run the darker colours around the edges, and then on both things. around his edges. Lots of pigment to make his colours bleed and run when we add the water. So pretty. Put a little bit of yellow on the inside, just so that we can lighten him up just a little bit. And then we'll just add some water to him. We'll put water on our brush, and it's just now spreading that around and colouring in his belly. To make him a very pretty, bright little seahorse. Keep colouring it in. We've got it's nice and bright. So the next thing we'll do is we'll take our teal colour and we're going to paint his outer fin. So let's just go ahead and do that all around the edges. Just paint it up using the side of our pen, not the tip. Just use the side so we can get as much pigment on there as we can. And we're putting it onto our paper. And just keep going around. Now we'll come back and we'll add some water to that. Oops, I've got a bit too much water on there. I'll just spread that out. It colours in his fin. Bringing it out to the edges, keeping on the inside of the line. To colour in our little seahorse. And there he is. So the only thing we've got left now to do, we've got a little bit of a white patch here, but I'll come back and see if I can spread some colour into that, to spread that around. Is to colour in his eye. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to colour in his black eye with the Sharpie. We've got his eye painted up, and now I'm going to go with the green. I think I'm going to go with. I'm just going to put a nice little colour of green around, not too much, just a nice light colour of green to go in on his inside of his eye. So with my wet brush, I'm just going to go in and lighten up his eye, colour it all in so he's got a pretty eye. And there he is. So now it's about, we're going to take our pen. What I didn't do when I do this, we'll do it now, is put our little dots on the ends of on his back fin. And now we can colour in the background. So the background can be done in any colour that you want, or however you want. You might want to do just swirls. You might want to just colour the whole thing in with a light blue to make it look like it's behind the scenes. But I'm going to do what we've done on my sample piece, and I'm going to do my circles and add some water to the watercolour pens and make little spots. So taking my colours, take the blue, I'm going to do some blue ones, just some round dots, and you can make them as big as you want. And then I'm going to take my little brush and I'm going to wet that and bring them out into a circle. I'm going to colour them all in to give them a pretty background. So you can make them as big as you want. Adding water to these spreads those spots quite big, so you can make them bigger if you want. Let's make these blue ones just a little bit bigger by putting a bit more water onto them. And they are a little bit wet, so just be careful. Don't pick up your piece yet until it's all completely dry. What we don't want is our colours running into each other. And now let's just leave that there. Might do the yellow while I'm at it. And now I'll come back with my water on my brush and I'll do the yellows just to brighten up those colours. Now, nice little spots. And we'll come back and do the green ones, and then our seahorse is finished. As simple as that. And it's entirely up to you on how you colour your seahorse in. Do a little circle here. And there he is finished. And there's our two seahorses together. And as you can see, they're not always exactly the same. Every time we do them, and every time that somebody does one, they're always a little bit different. We can never ever get it right whenever we do it the second time. We can never get them exactly the same. So don't beat yourself up if you don't get yours to look exactly like mine. Just go with the flow, enjoy the process, and enjoy painting up your seahorse. So thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it if you could like, share and comment below. And don't forget, if you do this painting at home, don't forget to post your picture in the comments below. And until next time, stay creative and thank you.